Hey New City, and welcome back to the $5 Gift Club, where we believe through small amounts we can make a big impact. This month I was able to sit down with Troy Johnson, who serves the young men in Raleigh in crazy awesome ways. We cannot wait to share with you how your generosity loved RDU this month. So I'm sitting here with my new friend Troy, who has, just a passion for Jesus, a passion for the community, Raleigh specifically. And so Troy, we want to hear a little bit about your story, what you're doing with Young Men for Christ, which is what you got on your hoodie right there. But take us back to maybe the beginning of your story.
Part of my why is how we grew up, or how I grew up.
Yeah.
Single mom. Grandparents, and they played a huge role in who I am today.
Yeah.
Because of that lack of consistent relationship with my biological father, there's still a 12-year-old boy, even at 39, that has a void, that didn't have an opportunity to wonder why, was there something wrong with me? Was there something that I lacked? And not really understanding the dynamics of the relationship or lack thereof. My grandparents and my grandmother played a huge role. Those are the young people, or those were the influences in my life that taught me about church. My grandfather, he'll be 100 years old, man. February the 22nd, we're gonna party like a rock star, man. I can't wait. I watched him go to work in a suit and tie every day, and that's where I learned the intangibles about eye contact, handshake. Those are the things that have helped me as a young man growing up. And I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for those experiences. The second part of my life, as I grew up as a teenager, I have to be honest with you, probably like any other kid, I was very mischievous. I wanted to push those limits and to see what I can get away with. And I think that's what's helped me to really understand the kids of today, not from a judgmental or a condemnation, but to know, hey man, I understand where you're coming from.
Right. So all those things have definitely led up to YM4C, which is your nonprofit Young Men for Christ. And so how did that come about?
We started with a very simple formula in the church, which is the Gathering Place, which is off of Sunnybrook Road in Southeast Raleigh. Again, was that lack of relationship with my biological father early on that still left a void in me, and wanting to impact the lives of young men that maybe have grown up the same way.
Yeah.
And the third part is just the love of my children. Because of that lack of relationship or void with that male figure, I was internalizing a lot of things and caused a lot of pain in my life. So I wasn't really one to wear my emotions on my sleeve. My son, on the other hand, he'll cry because it's Tuesday, and there's nothing wrong with that. Because of that love, he was dealing with some of the many things that young people deal with today, from bullying to being scolded. So I went to the principal and I asked, do you mind if I come and eat lunch with the kids? I said, hey, what do you guys like to eat? And all of them collectively said Bojangles. So you know what I brought next time? I brought Bojangles. And I started to peel that layer of the onion. Remember, and you've probably heard this before, hurt people hurt people. And this young man didn't have anybody to speak life into him. It was a whole lot of things that were contrary to positivity. How about that? Once I peeled that layer and figured out his why, I mended a relationship. Well, the bullying stopped and they quote unquote became friends. And then I said, well, hey man, if I can help mend that relationship, well, what else can I do? And because of that, June of 2017, we started YM4C in 2 classrooms in the church. So I bought basketballs, football, soccer balls, and basketball goals, and we used the church parking lot as a full court basketball.
So that's what you do. You take young men in the community and you bond over sports specifically. And so not only do you do sports, but then you eat a meal together, correct? You're talking about hamburgers and hot dogs, right? Something very simple. Yep. But then what's the third part of that, hey, if you come play ball and you come eat, which everybody wants to do, the third part is
the teaching. Right? So ultimately, we're raising up and maturing young men through biblical principles that come through with practical teachings.
why is that your problem? Like, we know your story, but heck, you can turn a blind eye to the people that just moved in behind the church and go on with your business. So why are these young guys in the community? 7 to 17 is a lot of kids. Like, that's a big gap.
Yeah.
Why is that your issue?
At 12, I had a support system. Though my father wasn't in the picture, I had a support system. And at 12, I kind of took it for granted. So to now see young men that don't have that,
Right.
that really don't, I started to appreciate and be thankful for how I was raised, and saying, you know what, no, it's not my responsibility, but I felt that there was a pull and a yearning on my life. I felt that there was a calling on my life to do such.
Man, you're doing awesome things in the Raleigh community, loving the Raleigh community in crazy, just tangible ways. And so we wanted to hear your story, be encouraged by what's happening. I love what you say about in your backyard, right?
Yeah.
And if we look at it as a whole, Raleigh, the things that are happening, whether it be North Raleigh, Southeast Raleigh, it's our backyard.
Exactly right.
So we wanted to hear your story, but we also just wanted to play a small part of a token of appreciation for what you're doing.
Yeah.
And we have something at New City Church called the $5 Give Club, where we believe through small amounts, we can make a large impact, a big impact. And so what we do is we invite all of our people to give an additional $5 on top of their monthly offering.
Okay.
And so because we heard what you were doing, we also just have a small gift just to say thank you for how you're loving the community, what you're doing. And so I actually have a check for YM4C. It's $730.
Oh, man.
Just to say, dude.
Man, I appreciate that, dude. Oh, man, you don't understand, man. Wow.
Dude,
wow, man.
You're doing awesome things.
Wow, man.
You're doing awesome things. Like you have so much passion and love for just people.
Yeah.
And so, dude, my last question is, how can we pray for you? How can we pray for Troy? How can we pray for YM4C?
Wow, man. Clearly, I never expect anything. Sometimes this can be very thankless work. So thank you, first of all. My greatest prayer is that I continue to be held up as a man and as a man of God. That God continue to work not just in me but through me, allow me to be a river, not a pond. And I truly believe the best is yet to come. So through our 4-part programming since June of 2017, we've impacted the lives of over 400 young men, and we're just getting started.